that juice. It's your boy, Smoke Screenless Pride.
Jesus loves you. Jesus loves you. Jesus loves you. We gonna pull off the Jesus hat, put it to the side, and BAM! I just want to say, fam, that these guys are not bad. The crossover for the Thundercats and Motu, Lionel's not bad. It's not perfect. I still think the SUPER7 is better than this one, but if you want to get some Thundercats that are cheaper and you're willing to wait, you can make them work with the SUPER7 line. This definitely makes Mumra look more imposing with Lionel being this size. And if you're wondering how I got the gauntlet, this is not the gauntlet that Lionel came with, and this is not the claw shield gauntlet, whatever, and this is not the claw shield that he came with either. These are from the OG Lionels from the SUPER7s, and I'll show you how I got these guys to fit. And again, fam, this was surprisingly, this is a lot better than I thought he would be. But let's take another look at this. Let's take a look at this guy. Alright, so I'm not going to do anything in regards to the changing of the gear or any of that stuff. There's plenty of videos about that already. What I'm going to do is help y'all out with this and this. Let's get a little closer, fam, so you see what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the claw shield and the claw shield. He doesn't come with the small sword of Romans. This is from the SUPER7. So is that claw shield, and so is this claw shield. What he comes with is this sword of omens right here, which is not bad. It's not bad for what you're paying for. And then this is crap. This unequivocally sucks. Oh, I hate this thing. Crap. Ain't worried about it. And then he also comes with this extra hand. I don't care about this other stuff. Alright. Now, we're gonna take this off right here, and it's easy to pop off. This claw shield, I'm gonna pop this off. Now, I cut the piece that extends right here. I cut this off. Well, not all the way off, but a little bit. And then I took this piece right here and wedged it and then glued it in. So if you're wondering what I use, you know how where you get these right here that's used to tie your figures down? I just took it and I bent it, probably smaller than that, but I bent it and then I cut it. I had already cut this down right here. I'd already cut this down right here, and then I super glued it right there. Went in, and then the SUPER7 claw shield, I took a drill, opened this up a little bit more, and then I just put it on there, and that looks a whole lot better, fam. Big or not, it still looks a whole lot better. Now, take this off. As for this, I didn't have to do anything. All I had to do was just put it in there, and that's that. And there goes your claw shield. Didn't have to do anything. You're welcome. You didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to do anything, fam. You don't have to do anything. Only thing you're gonna have to do is, if you want, is cut this down, get what I told you to get. It'll be in the box with, like most figures, all of them don't have the rubber bands. Cut it, wedge it in there, super glue it, take this, open that hole up a little bit more, and bam, there you go, fam. And it looks a trillion times better. You've seen the videos of this thing already than that. A trillion times better. Now, One thing I will say is that the articulation is pretty much like the Origins figure, the new Origins figures, and here is the new Origins Prince Adam. So you can see that they're basically about the same height. So that being said, you know, if you don't mind, if you don't want to pay for Super 7 figures like this, and you don't mind waiting, you can fudge these guys in to work. Let me move this lino out the way. Let's just look, fam. So he's towering, Mumra is towering over this guy, and it doesn't look bad, fam. It really doesn't. I don't mind Mumra being even bigger than this guy. It's not bad at all. You say, well, that's Mumra. Okay, let's look at somebody else. So we got Jackalman, who's long overdue. About to take Lionel out on the sly. Long overdue for a pinless Jackalman. Alright. Let's get this guy to stand. He don't want to stand today for some reason. So, got a Jackalman right here. Lionel right here. You might say, well, that's just too big for me. Well, fine, fam. If that's too big for you, it's too big for you. No big deal. But those who don't mind a mutant towering over the Thundercats, that might be just right for them. You see, he might be just right for you. Let's look. Straighten up, line those legs a little bit. You may not mind Jackalman being that much taller than Lionel. It may not bother you one bit. See, it may not bother you with Jackalman being that much bigger than Lionel. It may not bother you at all. Some people may be like, man, that's just too tall. So this may not bother you. It may bother some other people, but that's an option. If you want to be paying the Super 7 prices, you can try and see how it works with you, fam. It's possible. Again, just trying to give y'all some options, something else that you can do for those who just don't want to pay the 60 plus now for Super 7 and may not even want to pay the 35, 37 or whatever for Super 7. These are like 21, so hey, something for you to think about. Now, as you can see, he can sit in the chairs way better than Tigra, so it looks a lot better. It looks a lot better. They have better posability than the Super 7 figures right now. However, the new Lionel figures, their posabilities are about exactly the same. Actually, the new Lionels is slightly better because they have no bend at the waist, and the new Lionel has that new waist bend. But again, fam, it's up to you. I think it looks pretty good sitting in that chair. Let's try the other chair. Now, the chair leans back too far. It should have been like more up like that, and because of that, he doesn't sit like he should. But considering the leg space there and that wall that's right there, it makes him better able to sit compared to Tiger, as you can see from over there. So as you see, he can sit in the Thunder Tank sitting and not looking bad. You can see how Panther is sitting. And let's go swap them out. Remember, Panther is a bigger figure. So let's take a look. Comes out easily because, again, this was made for Panther. Slide him to the side. And so we're going to pull out Lionel, and he's smaller, so he's easier to get in and out. And let's see about his hands can go over the controls and everything very well. Right there, like Panthro. There you go. Let's get a closer look at him. And he fits well. Of course, he'll fit easier because he's smaller than Panthro. Let's take a look and see how much smaller he is than Panthro. Alright, so here's the difference in the height right here. You can see Panthro is taller. Panthro, showing Panthro, he is about, let's see, Panthro's about 6.5, and Lionel is at 6. So their builds are about the same. If Lionel had that extra height, this would be a nice challenger for SUPER7. It really would be a challenger for SUPER7. You can see Panthro is about close to 3 inches, and Lionel is about the same. So they are about the same in their width. Once again, the SUPER7 figures are bigger. I got Bengali out because he has the best posability for the Thundercats. Of all the Thundercats, well, I'll say him and the new Lionel are about tied. However, right here, which I have stated before in the back, right here is what makes his posability in the bending better than all the other Thundercats. Now, if we look at Lionel's here, you can see how Bengali still has a deeper cut right in here. Lionel has a cut that's close like that, but not quite as deep as Bengali's. Anyway, we're going to do a couple of comparisons, baby, as far as posing. So it took a lot of maneuvering and posing, and I was able to get Bengali like this. This is the best I could get him as far as bending, and I was actually surprised. I didn't think I'd be able to get him this far. I just tweaked him some more before. I guess he was still a little bit tight, and I couldn't get him down that far, which is still pretty good, but not like I would want him to be, fam. Yeah. I would like him to be able to pose like this, you know, extremely easy. Let me back this line up right here, slide Bengali out the way a little bit. Back. I would like for them to be able to pose like that. No issues, but again, that's SUPER7 and they don't want to do that, fam. Okay, so that was Bengali. Let's see what the new Lionel can do, the light up eyes Lionel. So let's move this out the way, and he just can't, fam. He can't. Even though their posability is about the same, because he doesn't have that deep bend right here that Bengali does, it restricts it from him being able to bend more. Right there, it catches right there, and that's the problem. He can't go any further. Whereas on Bengali, you can see he has that deep cut, so that cut allows him to go in a whole lot more, fam. Alright, so Bengali bends better than the new Lionel. Let's see how he does with this one. Let's see, fam. Tell me in the comments who you think is going to have the better posability, the Bengali from SUPER7 or the new Lino from the Motu crossover. Tell you where they have some ups and there's some downs, and why Bengali edges him out as far as how it looks. It looks more natural with Bengali, and the reason being is because he doesn't have a bend at the waist as those origins are. Right here, no bend. If he had a bend, he might have been able to give Bengali some serious competition. Reason being, they have what SUPER7 doesn't have. Right here, right here, they have this pivot. I don't know exactly what you call it, but right there in the at the knees, they have this pivot right there that SUPER7 doesn't have on there. I need to take another look at the new Lino and see if he has that. But Bengali, oh, I take it back, fam. I take it back. So let's see. Let me go back, fam. I'm about to eat my words. I had to think about it. I had to look at them again. Okay, so Bengali has that. Yeah. So in doing that, I was able to bring him back like that. So that's a decent bend. Hold on, fam. Let me do something here. That's a pretty good bend, fam. Right there. That's a pretty good bend. He's actually able to get down and kneel. Again, I said he is the best in regards to posability for all of the SUPER7 figures. So I did some more bending, some more twisting, and I was actually able to get the new Cheetara to do the same thing. Because guess what, fam? What I noticed on the new Cheetara, they gave her the deeper bend. Well, not deeper bend, but the deeper cut. The deeper cut in the back. They gave it to Cheetara. And so that allowed her to go down further. Now, because she doesn't have anything to deal with the waist, so now, fam, after some more fooling around, I was able to get Cheetara down here with this type of bend. With that kind of bend. So surprisingly, didn't notice that before. I guess because it was so stiff. Even though I heated it up in some parts, I didn't want to take a chance on messing it up. But now, since I have some extras, I can take a little bit more liberties. Now, here's something I just discovered. If I bend the Lino like this, then I can give him a bend to where it's pretty substantial, and dare say slightly better than Cheetara and Bengali. However, if it had that waist bend, then I think he might even have a better bend than that. But I am greatly surprised in trying to figure out who had the best posing, that I was able to discover that I could get Cheetara in an actual kneeling position. I already knew about Bengali, but I didn't get him in one this good and trying to see. But some eye openers, and it's going to make me do another look at all of my Thundercat figures again, fam, just to see if they have the deeper bends. Okay, so let's move these guys out of the way, and I want to do a couple more comparisons. Now, if I was going to use this in place of the SUPER7 Thundercats, if I didn't have them, and I had, let's say, I just started collecting and I had Wily Kit and Wily Cat, and I wanted to see how they would look. Now, the heights aren't bad. I could work with this if I was not trying to pay the SUPER7 prices, but I just happened to get Wily Kit and Wily Cat and I was starting out. I could work with this. I mean, some people probably like, no, but I'm just saying, this is just an option for you, for those who don't want to pay those prices, not even the deluxes. I'm just trying to help you out, fam. It doesn't look bad to me. Again, here's a closer look. Again, fam, I don't think it looks bad, but it is what it is. It's up to you on what you think will work for you. Now here's one with Hammerhand, and this size is not bad to me, it was kind of weird to me, because if you look at Hammerhand doesn't have any bend at all right here, which is that's weird. I don't know why they did him like that. That's just, I don't know, totally different, just weird to me, man. Now this book is a little beefier than the Light Up Eyes Lino or the Origin Lino, but I was still able to, for Hammerhand to get his hands around Lino. So again, it's something that you can do, fam, something different that you can do. And he can hold the SUPER7 small sort of Romans quite nicely, getting ready to do the Sight Beyond Sight. Okay, so now before we go, I was able to take the gear that he came with, and I was able to make it fit on this Thunderian guard right here. And I made, of course, I made this. If he looks different, it's because I made him look older. So he's like the leader of this group of the Thunderian guards. But the fact that, look at that, fam, that looks good on him. This looks even better on him, fam. And what I did was I cut it in the middle, because you can't pop the pieces off. So I just cut it right in the middle, you see, and then I just wedged it back here, and I'll put it on later. And there you got. And so thanks to this Lino, I was able to give this Thunderian guard some gear, and he can even store his staff in the back. So if anything, I'm glad about that. I was able to make the claw shield fit from the SUPER7. Alright, fam, so tell you what you think. Is this a pass? Is it a grab? Do you think that this Lino is cool? Do you not like this Lino? Do you think that the other Lino from the SUPER7s, all the other SUPER7s are better? Do you care that you're able to swap the gear from this Lino on to the Royal Guard? Do you think it looks good on the Royal Guard? Do you think it looks bad on the Royal Guard? Let your boy know. And like a fat kid in dodgeball, I'm out, baby. And don't forget to like and subscribe.